In Taiwan, most of the road racing is hill climbs. I think it's quite a nice challenge to do something that you're very bad at.
In the last 5K, I had absolutely nothing. I was literally zigzagging up the mountain, no power at all.
When you stop at a hill like this, it's really hard to get back on.
The last 10K were just hell. Like, there was like a wall like 26%, and I felt like dying inside. I was like,
I'm cold. I'm tired. I don't want to go anymore.
It's King Sang Sang. In Taiwanese, it's like, go easy.
Taiwan is one of the most mountainous islands in the world and is home to many high mountains. On this 36,000 square kilometer island, there are over 260 mountains with an altitude of over 3,000 meters. The Taiwan KOM Challenge, acclaimed as one of the world's top 10 toughest cycling events, is an epic 105-kilometer challenge. The route starts at sea level and climbs to an altitude of 3,275 meters, passing through Taroko Gorge, as well as passing by the Bilu Sacred Tree, before reaching the highest point on Taiwan's highways, Wuling. With an average gradient of 3.5%, the race also features numerous steep sections, exceeding an incline of 15%. The breathtaking natural scenery and challenging cycling route attract hundreds of local and international cyclists to compete each year. 6 friends of different nationalities and professions share a passion for cycling and are actively training in preparation for the annual KOM Challenge.
Okay, should we head out?
The team are in Hualien, eastern Taiwan, to do a practice ride for the KOM, or King of the Mountain Challenge, along the race route.
Hi everyone, so this is where the KOM Challenge normally starts, the actual race. So we're here right now, it's pretty early, and I believe normally the race starts at 5:30 in the morning?
Around that,
area? Yeah. Are you guys ready?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so we're gonna go from here and along the coast, and then we're gonna get to the Taroko National Park, and then slowly going upward, but not too bad.
Not too slowly either, huh?
Yeah, not too slowly because there is a time limit. The very experienced rider that I want to share is my first time. Oh, good. Take it easy. Take it easy. Enjoy the view.
Keep some power for the end.
But probably gonna be freezing up there.
It's about 10 degrees.
Yes, yeah. He's like,
It's about 10 degrees, so yeah.
So make sure you have your.
Just have to make sure we're above the clouds and.
Oh, above the clouds sounds amazing.
If you feel cold, just like push more on the pedals.
Well, you're already wearing long sleeves.
Are you cold?
Do you get cold easily?
No.
Okay.
It's just like I have the perfect outfit for it.
You make me worry, but I got like a sleeve and I got my rainproof jacket just in case. They say it's really hard to predict the weather up there. Right, so ready? Let's go?
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Let's go!
Yeah.
Go, go. So nice.
Shortly after setting off, the team ride along Highway number 9. The first 18.5 kilometers serve as a warm-up segment for the KOM. The road conditions are very smooth, allowing riders to freely adjust their pace and ease into a good rhythm, preparing them for the upcoming ride.
So do you know your FTP then?
Not very well.
Okay. I think if you do the FGZ 风柜腿,
Oh yeah, I did.
That could be a nice indicator of your
Yeah, okay.
FTP,
Yeah, I was
if you report
kinda-
the power for your 风柜腿.
did record it, and I kind of know.
The
pace.
rough region. That's
Yeah.
for me as well. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know exactly my FTP.
Yeah.
After doing some climbs,
Yeah. You
because
kind
the
of know
climbs
your.
force the power out of you, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
So then you have a rough idea.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna try to stay with the same. It's so easy to try to chase up because everyone's like in front of you.
Yeah.
You can take our wheel, Natalie.
Hey, take your wheel.
How many times do you go to the gym?
Well, I come here twice a week and I normally train with my trainer. She's really good. So she helped me with my upper string and also core muscle. So I think that really helped me with cycling because you really need to have a really strong core muscle, I believe. Because I actually have really weak upper string. So I come here, train here. Because you know when you're biking, your precision is quite important too.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm really weak here. So I want to improve this section and also my core muscle so I don't get backache that easily. And it helped me with the longer ride.
Oh, are we making a turn?
Maintaining good fitness and optimal condition requires regular strength training.
Because a race is it's very long in general, and the longer you are on the bicycle, the more chance you start to have back pains, you start to have pains everywhere. And to avoid that, the stronger your core is, the easier you will be on the bike, the less pain you might feel. So that's why I actually have a big part of my training that is around doing core training. I think, yeah, it's very important, and even more before long races. When we do cycling, we often, we curve our body really low, and then we often having our back really stretched like that. So I do that kind of machine so I can open my back and really strengthen that part. Because this is where we get it weakened when we do actually cycling. So I do that actually to warm up.
Man, you must be so excited for your actual race. I hope for the best weather for you.
If it could be like today.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, I think this is actually a perfect practice for you since it's your first time.
So usually I give up, on these really steep climbs. Usually I give up and get off my bike when I don't know what's coming. But at least with this, now I know what's coming.
Yeah.
Approaching the checkpoint near the 18.5 kilometer mark, the route turns onto Highway number 8, also known as the Central Cross Island Highway, one of Taiwan's 3 major cross-island highways. After the checkpoint, riders are free to race at their own pace. After passing through the iconic Taroko Archway, the cyclists begin an uphill section. The initial gradient isn't steep, it's around 2%, allowing them to cycle comfortably and take in the stunning canyon scenery along the way. They don't need to exhaust themselves chasing speed at this stage, as steeper and longer climbs await further along the route. When the official race goes through the tunnel sections, the low light can often lead to collisions. The cyclists must not only maintain a steady pedaling rhythm, but also stay aware of surrounding vehicles.
Nice. So beautiful. This is so nice, Ben. At the moment, I'm so glad I did this.
And
Taiwan is the best place for that. Like you can
Yeah.
discover a lot of places. Like so with this, but like compared to here, I enjoy much more like cycling here than France.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it because of variety? There's like so many different mountains. There's the ocean.
Because everything is so close here.
Well, but I know because you actually just flew to Taiwan. You actually, for this KOM race, you flew from France to Taiwan. And I noticed on your fitness app, you've been doing a lot of training in France too.
Yeah. I've been training for the last 4 months because I live close to Paris.
Yeah.
So it's quite hard for me to find mountains in Paris. Paris is like this.
In English, the same. It's pretty much no mountain, flat road.
So I went to Lyon by the Alps for 1 week, and I went to try to train a bit there. Like I went there like train like every 2 days there to have like
Okay. Can I
3, 4.
ask how long per training? Like how far you ride?
That depends on the training. There was like some trainings I want to train the muscles. So it'll be like 1-2 hour max, like high tempo, like 30 kilometers, like very high tempo. And the other training, it's like more for the heart to get used to that, more like 4 to 5, 6 hour max for a long ride.
After passing through the Shakadong Tunnel, there are nearly 10 kilometers of continuous rolling hills. Although there's little elevation gain and the route isn't too challenging, this is often where the cyclists begin to spread out. Training for endurance helps on this long rolling section of the route. Additionally, knowing the route, pacing correctly, and adjusting gears as needed are key factors in conserving energy and pedaling efficiently. After passing the Xipan Tunnel, the cyclists ride through Swallow Grotto, Juelu Cliff, and the Tunnel of 9 Turns. The towering canyon cliffs and natural rock formations along the way resemble works of art crafted by nature and are the most spectacular sights in Taroko Gorge. The winding terrain and tunnels are distinctive features of this part of the route. The cyclists have to be especially cautious on this stretch, as there are natural rock walls on all sides. Falling rocks are common along the route, so extra care must be taken while cycling. After passing through the winding Tunnel of 9 Turns, the path continues with a gentle uphill slope. As they continue, cyclists navigate a sharp 90-degree turn and encounter the bright red Tsumu Bridge at the confluence of the Liwu and Laoshi rivers. Situated at an altitude of around 400 meters, this bridge is nestled within a V-shaped river canyon and is one of Hualien's 8 scenic wonders. Just after passing Tsumu Bridge, it looks like there's something wrong with John's bike.
Hi, my name is John. Yeah.
And are you excited to join us to be part of the team doing the KOM challenge?
Yeah. I've always wanted to do the KOM. Yeah, because I'm a very keen
When was the
cyclist.
first time you heard about this race?
Oh, this race, I heard about it in the Global Cycling Network, GCN. It's a very big
Oh,
YouTube
nice.
channel.
So that's an international platform?
Yes, the two presenters went to Taiwan and did the Taiwan KOM.
Oh,
And
that's
then,
fantastic.
The whole world knows about it. That's how I knew
Yeah,
about it.
yeah. I heard like you get like cyclists from all over the place, everywhere.
Once I talked to Miko from Taipei Slow Cyclist.
That's a cycling group you joined in Taipei, right?
Yeah. Basically, I joined the cycling group because our kids play together, so we chat as parents. And then joined the Taiwan Slow Cyclist community, which is really nice, very open. And then so they asked if I wanted to join the KOM. I had to do it sooner or later, so I signed up.
Because I heard there's like a different type of training, like zone 1, zone 2, and then you have to really make sure that you follow your training plan, everything. And then, for KOM, I think because it is quite a challenging race, so I guess a lot of people will be asking, okay, do you like change your training? Like, do you change your diet? What like particular thing do you do maybe a week before the race? Is there anything that you would like to share with us?
Yeah, I think, cycling is very scientific nowadays, and so I did, after I signed up for KOM, I did some research. And so I made myself a bit of a plan for how I'm gonna get in a state where I'm in position to maybe complete it, or perhaps even do well. And as you said, a more scientific approach would be like, you would do certain days training per week to build your base. So not too intense, because if you do too intense, that means you have a longer recovery time. So as you said, zone 2, which is around 56 to 75 or 76% of your maximum power that you can sustain in an hour. So I try to do that 3 or 4 times a week, just relatively lower intensity, and then as they suggest in all the papers and the scientific research, you do ones where you do intervals, like you do really hard and then rest, really hard. And then rest.
I think wrestling is equally important too.
我这个气没有办法抱得很紧。
After getting back on the road, in about 3 kilometers, they'll reach Tianxiang. By then, they will have completed 1/3 of the race route. The altitude here is around 450 meters, marking the border of Taroko Gorge. This is also the only spot along the entire route with convenience stores and public facilities.
Still smiling.
I'll be so happy right now.
补一下了，水还够不够？
可以装，他刚刚爆胎。Yeah, he had a back tire. Important. Stay hydrated.
To prepare for one of the world's top 10 toughest races, in addition to high-intensity training, maintaining a disciplined diet and ensuring balanced nutrition before the event are also crucial.
So basically, I got this pineapple.
Pineapple?
Because I
Or-
still have 3 weeks to go. So
Yeah.
I need to a good amount of fiber to cut the weight.
Oh, okay. So you're still trying to cut the weight for the KOM race?
Yeah.
Ah,
Then
so-
also pineapple is high in vitamin C, sour,
Yeah.
and then I like kind of sour flavor.
Ah, okay. Yeah, so
And I
what
used
else
to-
do you get then besides the pineapple?
Pineapple, apple, all with apple.
Oh, the apples? Okay.
Each cyclist's physique and performance goals vary, so their pre-race diet plans are also personalized.
So is this like the amount that you eat before the race?
I would say it would be an ideal meal before a race, because you do have, but I will have maybe more sweet potato and maybe a little bit of pasta or brown rice, but whole wheat pasta, because you really need to increase the carbs before the race. So yeah, but that will be good. Just increase the carbs and you're good to go.
Given the long and intense ride, adequate intake of carbohydrates and protein is key in a pre-race diet. When muscles have sufficient energy to function and repair effectively, cyclists can enhance their performance significantly.
It's a good race.
Yeah.
I know, good race.
Yeah.
So how are you feeling? Good? Yeah, we did. How many did we do now? On my
40.
really okay. Mine says 35.
Yeah,
So
35.
40?
Yeah, 35.
35. So we have 75, 65 to go.
Yeah, 65.
Yeah, 65 to go. Because right now it's actually pretty flat. It's not bad.
Actually, it's flat like that. Like okay, now it's climbing a little bit, but
We're gonna have 3K, like 7%.
Okay.
It's a bit hard.
After leaving Tianxiang, the next part of the route is no easy task. It's approximately 8 kilometers to the race's first supply station at Xibao, during which riders must climb over 460 meters with an average gradient of nearly 5.5%. This stretch tests cyclists' uphill speed. Adjusting pedal strokes and breathing rhythm, as well as standing on the pedals occasionally to relax their muscles, can help conserve energy.
As soon as I was 16, 17, I got sponsored by a German company who made all his bikes in-house.
Yeah.
So from that moment on, I started to develop my own bikes.
Wow, very early on.
I was pretty good as a downhiller. So I got sponsored and I started making my own bikes. I designed the bike mainly for the Japanese market. And the Taiwan manufacturer then decided to have a go at it and sell this bike in Taiwan.
Oh.
And this was, I think, 2006 or 7, maybe
Okay.
2009. And that time, suddenly that bike got very popular in Taiwan. We sold thousands over one summer.
Wow, that's impressive.
You know, cycling is a very positive thing. And no matter what the reason was, maybe it was the fashion, maybe it was the Rafa, maybe it was a fashionable bike or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's so much fun that you will not stop doing it, no matter even if that trend, what brought you here, is gone.
Yeah.
You will still continue cycling because it's such a nice, a nice thing to do.
And also, I want to ask you, because since you design your own bike, do you have like a specific bike that you're going to use for KOM?
It's very rewarding.
Yeah,
and it's very
I
fun
bet.
to do it on your own stuff. Then the other thing is that Taiwan is so exciting to ride bikes.
I agree.
So, yeah, of course, I will just ride my own bike.
Good job. Give me a fist bump. Nice, awesome. One thing I actually really want to ask you is about your bike, because I noticed it's quite different. Is this the bike that you're going to use for KOM Challenge?
Yes, of course. Because in Taiwan, most of the road racing is hill climbers.
Yeah.
Which is very nice, and Taiwan is probably the best country in the world to do so. But climbing was always my worst. And I think it's quite a nice challenge to do something that you're very bad at by nature. But yeah.
Because we all know the really famous part of KOM Challenge is the last 10K. Are you ready for that one?
You have to. There's no way.
It's like you already went all the way 90%. You need to finish that last 10%.
I think if I make a chart of my 5 worst rides on a bicycle, or the times that I suffered the most.
Yeah.
I only did the KOM 4 times, and it will be 4 times KOM.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty horrible.
Oh man.
So-
okay, it'll be my
so-
first time, so I'm also mentally preparing myself
Well,
too.
mentally, I think the only thing you cannot do is stop. No matter how slow, even if you walk, it doesn't matter. You just don't stop.
Yeah.
The next segment of the route remains filled with steep climbs. As the elevation increases, the temperature drops. In this race simulation, Will all 6 cyclists have the stamina to reach the finish line?